What's up, you guys? Sorry.
Yours is better than mine.
What's up, you guys?
What's up, you guys? Can you give it that kind of energy?
Because why do you have to shake your head? Like, what is like?
What's up, you guys?
Mine would be like, what's up, you guys?
I started doing it that way, and now I have to do it that way when there's days when I just want to be like,
what's up, you guys?
Yeah. Literally.
I think a little variation is okay.
What's up, you guys?
I
have the voice of New York with me today. But guys, she's known as that, literally like Hall of Fame.
I am a Radio Hall of Fame, New York Times bestseller.
Oh!
Also, I don't know, mother and
rapper.
Now new podcaster.
Yes.
I did have a small rap career at one point.
It was a very good rap career.
I have.
Don't make me break out singing If I Could Go With You right now, because you know I know every single word. I will little mo it out.
No, don't do it.
I will Sicario it out.
Not Sicario.
But most importantly, guys.
Most importantly.
To me, most importantly, she has been a mentor and a sister to me. And I figure, why not sit down and chat? Guys, I have known Angie since I was 15 years old.
She was so cute. I loved her the first second I met her.
So I have actually known you for 23 years.
Yeah, that's...
Do you know how crazy that is? Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys the truth.
Okay.
Angie, have I ever told you the truth about the first time I met you?
What, about the gifts that you bought?
Yes.
She was a guest on my show.
I grew up listening to Angie on the radio. I literally felt she was so relatable. I felt like she sounded like us. She looked like, you know what I mean? Like there was just such relatability where it was like, I've never met this person before, but oh my God, like I know her. So I knew you. I was like, oh my God, I'm like obsessed with you.
I was doing a contest, a drive, like a toy drive for the kids. And
during Christmas.
So imagine this little girl, she's 15. Imagine she comes to my show and she brings this big bag of toys for the toy drive. I'm talking about bags and bags and bags. And she just it didn't just come from a publicist. It was this girl, she said she went to the store.
I went to Toys R Us in Union Square.
To buy the gifts herself and brought all these gifts for my toy drive. And I just was like, who is she? I love her. And then we just like took you under the wing, right? Like you were like
literally like the next day I was hanging out with you, Joe, Becca.
Yeah,
Yvette.
we would take her out to the parties. We'd make her drink alcohol.
The first time I ever got drunk was with Angie Martinez.
It's true.
The first time I ever got drunk, you took me to Joe's Pub. No, first you took me to Idea.
Oh,
no.
I love that spot. The mojitos.
Yes. Coconut mojitos, right? The way I remember, and then you guys, they have Mama Juana's there?
Yes, Mama Juana. Oh, we made you drink
I drank Mama Juana's, I drank the mojitos.
It's terrible.
And then we went to Joe's Pub. Do you know how I remember all this? Because it was like a dream come true for me. You have to imagine like the people you look up to, you're like huge fans of, and they embrace you and take you under their wings like a little sister. And I just remember, like I remember everything of that night. I can tell you where we sat. I can tell you how we came through the back of Joe's Pub. We didn't go through the front. Like these are like memories
so
that I
cute.
will never forget.
That's so cute.
All that's because I'm not gonna get emo about this. I'm getting emo about, and then I was drunk, and it was the most beautiful moment of my life.
Let me redeem myself by saying my intention was not to get her
guys,
drunk.
not
it's
at
just,
all.
She was hanging out with us like the crew,
Yeah.
and it just happened. I wasn't monitoring her what she was doing, and she got drunk. I wasn't like, here, drink this.
Not at all.
Brown liquor.
The great news is you guys took me home. Yvette actually took me up to my apartment. I still lived in the Lower East Side. And she was super cool and literally was like, hi, Senora Nilda, like I have Adrienne here. You know, she had my mom really appreciated that I was with dope people who didn't just leave me out. You know, like you guys took me home, you made sure I was good. And it was funny because she was like, she's gonna drink one day. Like, I'm so glad it was with responsible adults. And I actually was fine, thank you very much. I got a little sick later on, but that's not, but I remember my mom just being like, her exact words were, pa que aprende. Like, you know, you're gonna have to navigate things like drinking, going out. And she just thought it was like a great, funny memory. And I know it sounds bizarre and weird.
I love it. By the way, were you 15? I don't know. Were you
no,
15
I wasn't 15 then. I was like 17 by then.
17, because I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, this is a little later.
We might have been 17. And that was one of the things I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, her mother's gonna think I am the worst person.
No.
I felt so bad. And
No.
and her mother was so kind to me and so always so loving.
She was so grateful that I had you. You know what I mean? I think she's always just been so grateful. Like if I had needed advice about something, or if we were going somewhere, I'd be like, can you come with me? And like, I just, it's always been that. But Angie, you're like the easiest person to talk to. You are so wise, and you really are. I think that you ooze honesty. And I always come to you whenever I'm in like a rut or I need some great advice. And I figured that we just kind of have that kind of girl talk here.
That's so nice.
And just discuss all the things, because not gonna front, you be talking to people these days. I'm watching the convos with your podcast.
Yes.
Why did you choose the
title or the
title?
topic? Well, the title is Angie Martinez in real life. Which
I
is
know,
not
but
that
right
way.
now it's like the
But
season.
this chapter 1 is called We're All Gonna Die. I know, you hate this title.
If you know me,
You hate this title, I know.
you know that my greatest fear in life is death. We're all gonna die.
We are. I'm sorry. It's not
know.
a sad fact. It's just a fact. It just is what it is. So now that we know that, what do you want to do while you're here? Do you really want to do that? Do you really care about that?
Yeah.
Why are you stressing out about that? Why are you blah, blah, blah? Every time somebody
Yeah.
dies, we go, oh, life is short. We got to live it up. And then that lasts for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, the pandemic did that for me.
Well,
the
that's another reason I did this.
Completely shifted my perspective on life, what matters to me, the things that I actually really want to do.
For
Because
sure.
especially when things like shows were being canceled, you were doing your job from home. I was like, well, if I could do my job from anywhere at this point, I want to go home, and home for me is New York, and family now was the most important thing to me. And listen, if this is all gonna crash and burn and we're all gonna die, then who do I want to do it with?
Yeah, but when you remind yourself, limited time. Every single one, every single human walking this earth is on limited time.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with that time? It's like you have fear of things that, oh God, how do I say this? Okay.
You could say it and be brutally honest.
Okay, when you were younger, dating,
Yes.
when you were dating,
Yeah.
your biggest fear in the world was that your boyfriend was gonna cheat on you.
Yeah, that was my biggest fear.
Right, and then what happened when he did? You survived.
I moved on. Yeah.
Because it happens, especially when you're young.
Yeah.
Young boys are gonna cheat on young girls. It's horrible, but it's true.
Yeah, that is the reality.
Totally
for most
different
relationships.
things, but you build up that fear, right? And so, but I mean, this is a totally different. I mean, fear is scary to all of us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, death is scary to all of us because we don't want to lose people we love. We want to keep everything forever, but nothing is forever. And the reality is, everybody is on the same path.
Yeah, but it's even you saying nothing is forever. It's the uncertainty of that. And you know what? When we were talking earlier in my closet,
Yeah, we were
literally in my closet talking, but we were talking about going to therapy and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually told you, like, I'm gonna go to therapy. My sister goes to therapy. Everyone I know around me goes to therapy.
You
My
said
husband.
you haven't needed it before.
And I never felt I needed it, but I was never against it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you have another outlet. And not
Yeah.
to say you can't have both, you should have both.
Yeah.
I love that you're going to therapy.
Yeah.
But some people are so bottled up because they don't even process their own feelings. You will, maybe you're not going to therapy, but because you pray so much, it forces you to process what you care about, what you want, what your wishes are, what you're worried about, because you ask God for help. So you're in a
Direction.
way where you're talking to God and it's prayer, but you're also processing your own thoughts.
So I was
Which
saying
a lot of people don't do.
I didn't understand therapy, and by guys, when we say I went to therapy,
She went one time. She thinks she's like a guru now. She's a therapy.
I've been once, but I was saying that, like, I understand that people need an outlet. They
Yeah.
need someone to talk to, and you were saying that you know my faith is very much that for me too, because honestly that is my outlet. It's what I will tell God what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling, and that gives me hope. And it allows me to like get through those hard times, because I remind myself like I'm never alone. Like God is walking with me. God is with me right now. He's walking me
Yeah.
through this. But
But God also made therapy.
100%.
So it's also like,
One of my biggest aha moments was with you in your car, when I was just like, why are these things happening to me? And I felt so out of control. And you reminded me how in control I actually was of my image, of what people thought about me. Granted, there is a lot of it you can't control, but there also is a lot of it that you can. What are you doing to add to the narrative of this? Or what are you doing to say, no, that's not who I am, and how am I gonna correct how you view me? And I always remember that being such a pivotal moment in my career, because I was like, if I'm being viewed a certain way and that's not who I genuinely am, what can I do to actually reflect the person that I really am, whether that's from what I was wearing, who I was with, and what I was doing. And the reality is I was doing things that I thought were gonna make me cool, but were not genuinely me.
So what I was really saying to you is like, you as a human being, the person that I know, is really none of those things.
Yeah.
And so all those things, yes, who you're hanging out with, what are you wearing, all of those things. But because if you are living your truth and you're comfortable in who you are and you're being honest about yourself all the time, that will show. So correct the things that are not truthful for you.
Yeah. Comment below if you've ever been in a place in your life where you looked at yourself and said, I don't know why I'm doing the things I'm doing, and I don't like the results I'm getting from what I'm doing. Do you get what I mean? I think it made me really do some soul searching and some self-reflection that shifted my mind on it. And there's a difference, because now I feel like if somebody has a different perspective of me that isn't true to who I am, I still go to sleep at peace at night because I know I'm walking in my truth.
Yeah, of course. That's what it is.
And that's the difference.
So
versus when you said it to me, I was like,
oh
my God, why have I been doing all these things?
I'm sure a lot of you, especially those of you maybe in your 20s, this is a normal like passage. It's like you don't find yourself you have to find yourself because you didn't know yourself at some point.
Yeah.
We're all on that journey. So whether it's your teens or your 20s, sometimes women too in your 30s, it doesn't mean that you figured it all out. Like sometimes in your 30s, there's some course correcting you have to make sure you're being truthful and you're
I will be
living a life.
40 next year,
Yay.
which sounds...
Can I tell you something else now? Because I'm 50.
Yeah.
So now I always have this advantage over you where I'm like, I already know what you're about to go through because 40s are great. And by the way, you have set up the most amazing thing. You have set up such a true life around yourself. You really have found.
Because of those conversations with you, honestly, I really
amazing.
do appreciate that.
This is why I know this podcast is good for me, because I'll be out and I'll be like, you have to watch this. And I never you know me, I never like that.
She's so not a self, guys, I just called her a rapper. She had one of my favorite songs ever. She's like, no. Like, you're not that person.
I'm not a promoter. And so one of the things about this podcast, I really was like, okay, I just want my mind to be right. Like, it's an offering.
Yeah.
I want to think about this as an offering.
Wow.
I'm not going to take anybody's money. I just want to have these like higher level conversations. Yeah. And so anyway,
so needed.
My second episode, and I want you to watch this because my second episode is with Mary.
Who I love.
So Mary J. Blige is
one of your best friends.
Yeah, we've been friends. We started our careers together, so we've been friends for longer than you and I, 25, 26 years. So and I've interviewed her 100 times.
Yes.
This is my favorite conversation with her because it's us at this age talking about the things that we're learning still at 50, right?
Wow.
So there's some things where in your 40s you're gonna be like, yeah, I got this, man. When I turned 40, I learned how to blah, 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 blah. When you turn 50, you're gonna say, that stuff I was doing in my 40s, I realized I had to pivot. So there are things, if you're looking for the early answers,
I'm going to watch right now. Comment below if there's other episode ideas you would like to see with me and Angie. Games. I feel like have you ever, would you? I feel like something along those lines.
I'll do it.
I feel like that would be fun because this one was like, this was the introduction.
You were giving me very like Oprah-ish today.
You know, I try to be
very deep.
For her to say I'm Oprah-ish, and she's literally hands down the best interviewer of all time.
Stop.
Hands down. So that was like the ultimate compliment right there. But you guys, seriously, I want you to tell me all the ideas you have for any upcoming ideas for episodes. Adrienne and Angie, drink wisely.
Drink wisely.
I love it. How to drink wisely.
That's a good episode.
And then we should talk about all the things that we've seen when people are drunk and embarrassing.
Or that we've done.
I've done.
Yeah, I have a couple of those really good ones. That would be an amazing episode.
One time, I spoke another language. I was naked in front of the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. Chinese
I
food.
fainted once from it, but anyway, we'll talk about that later.
You fake drunk?
No, I fainted. I passed out in the street. I'll tell you, I'll save that story for the episode. I'll save that story for the episode.
You're not ready for
No, in the street, ambulance, everything. It was terrible.
I got escorted off of an airplane because I was vomiting on myself. Make sure you check out her podcast, In Real Life. And right now, the first chapter is We're all gonna die.
But the next chapter is gonna be really cheery and upbeat, so don't worry. And even these episodes, it's about life. It's not about death.
It's not about death. You guys have to check it out. I saw the first few, and they are absolutely incredible.
I hope you like
have
them.
to check them out.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Love
See you
you.
next
Bye.
time. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe.